Hello, hello. We are live. Just a little early tonight, which is okay.
We are
Uh,
live and
we
alive.
are we are alive and live. Yes. I don't know how much of live I am, but we'll go with it, right? I'm
I
just
know.
owning it.
I've been having to work overtime. So it's going to be a week and a half before I get my next day off.
Oh,
Hello.
gee. Hi, Derek.
How are you?
Good.
See
How
if I can
about
get my big ass.
you?
Oh, I got a new game system, and so
Oh, what did you get now?
I got a PS4.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's an older one, but
Right. So it plays
yeah.
games, right?
I
So,
don't know if she's lagging me
Oh,
off.
there you go.
am I lagging?
Yeah.
Am I? How bad?
You were a little bit, but
Okay. I was
you're back
like,
now.
good. Okay. Tonight we are a little early with our show, just to fit our guest in, who I've known for, I want to say at least 16 years, if not longer. Um, he is a psychic medium. He is a TV star, podcast host, artist. This guy does everything and anything at this point. He's a musician as well. So let's just bring him right in. It is Chris Fleming.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Good. How about you?
Good.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
How are
Alicia,
you?
Derek. Good. How are you guys? Where are you guys at right now? Alicia, Derek.
We are in East Moline, Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're not too far away. I live in Illinois.
They're like an
Really?
hour and a half from DeKalb.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm the farthest away from all of you. I'm
So they're
5 and a
doing-
half.
I didn't realize you were so close.
Yeah. It's been cold, huh?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
tired
over
of
the
it.
cold.
I'm ready for spring, and then it started snowing today. I was like, dang it, it's snowing again.
Right.
Yeah. I keep every morning, I look at the tracks because all the coyotes that keep coming into my backyard, and then I go on my cameras and see if I've caught any of them on the cameras. They're just coming in looking for food source for the rabbits. Because I tend to
Right.
feed a lot of the rabbits in the area, and I hate doing that because then the coyotes come.
Right. You want to help one thing, and then you get the other ones that cause.
Yeah, it's
more
like I
issues.
feed the birds, and then the hawks come and kill some of the pigeons and the doves and some of the other bigger birds, and it's just like, come on.
Aw, that's sad.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. These predators that are out there.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's
So-
good things and bad things about feeding wild animals. Is if you keep
Right.
doing it, the predators then realize and they
Oh,
wait
good.
for them. So
Yeah.
Right. Well, I know I did a little intro for you, but if you want to add anything, feel free.
no, I just really nothing to add. I mean, I honestly, I just don't like, going on and saying, oh, I do this. I mean, we all do many things in this life, and some people just do the same thing their whole life. I like to do different things. I mean, I've always been into the paranormal because I grew up in a haunted house, and I have things happen and something happened today.
Right.
I still got to watch the cameras, but there was a door that slammed, the sound of a door slammed when I was doing a live stream today on my Instagram. And that's happened before. I don't know. I have to listen to whatever I was saying for that to happen because it usually means something. A spirit's trying to react to something. Like, I'll give you a quick example. And I have a cleaning lady. When I say cleaning lady, I don't do it consistently. I mean, I clean my house, but once every couple months, sometimes 3, 4, 5 months, I'll have a cleaning lady come in and just kind of do a professional clean, right?
Right.
And I've known her since I lived in Schaumburg, which is like 20 years ago. So she's been coming to my house ever since, right? Well, when I first moved in here, this house was haunted as well. So there was stuff happening, excuse me. And she would have things happen. And they were happening after the girl that I had a relationship with lived here. She had an attachment. And that attachment obviously stayed after I kicked her out. And there was still things happening. So it took me a while to get rid of what was in this house.
Right.
So the cleaning lady would have stuff happen. I mean, objects would be moved. vacuum would the thing would be pulled. Twice she screamed. I went upstairs. She had a needle through both of her toes. And
What?
I don't have needles and I don't do well, it's ironic. I think what happened is my ex had thrown needles in the carpet, because she used to sew, which would be a terrible thing to do, but it had been a long time. It had been over a year and I had not stepped on anything, but the cleaning lady did while she was vacuuming. But then one day, I remember I was folding laundry on the floor and I turn around and there's a needle sticking straight up. And I'm like, there's no way that needle's been sticking straight up for a couple years, right? Where did that come from? So I think the things that were in the house were doing these things. We're putting those up for me to step on it. Once my cat stepped on it too and was bleeding. So you'll have things like that happen. So she was here. I said, hey, I did a cleansing of the house. They're all gone. There's no negative spirits here anymore. And all of a sudden you hear this door slam, like bam, upstairs. And she goes, oh my God. And she goes back to cleaning the kitchen. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go upstairs.
Yeah.
All the doors were open. None of them were closed. So where did that sound come from? Right. It's a manifestation we call direct voice phenomenon. That happened today. Is heard a door slam. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, okay. And so I'll have to go back, watch, figure out what I said that triggered that, because spirits will trigger something they're upset about. I'll give you another example real quick is I remember the basement was cracking. I was getting these cracks in the basement walls. I'm like, what the hell? This was brand new construction. So I looked up, there's a 10-year warranty on the house. I'm over the 10-year warranty. Doesn't matter. I called the association. They came and looked at it and they said, well, that's, it's over. There's really nothing we can do. Also, the driveway was breaking apart and everything. And we found that they only put in not even, there's a rule that you have to have so much asphalt. They were well below that. It was cracking.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's in my house. He says, we looked at everything, you're past the warranty. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing you can do. You guys told me this was cosmetic defect and it's not.
Right.
So I got really angry at him. I said, get out of my house. Get out of my house. So I kicked him out. Then I went upstairs and I came back down and I heard something crash in my office. I went into my office and I have this statue by this sculptor from Argentina. It's like he did these model kits, like sculpts of them, of Ramses from 10 Commandments, the actor Yul Brynner that played Ramses, and really cool, nice little sculpture. And it was on the floor, broken in half. I'm like, what the hell?
What the hell?
And
wow.
I was pissed. I'm like, because I like this, but I'm realizing there's no way that should have went flying off the help. So we're thinking about there's correlation to that. Like the spirit was trying to tell me, don't trust this guy. He's got a bad whatever when you talk about Ramses and stuff. So I went outside. I said, you know what? You're lying. I said, there's something you don't want to get involved in within this. I said, so I need to go to corporate, and I'm going to go to corporate and I'm going to write them a letter. I'm going to file a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at me like this, right? So I went online, I did research and found out that the company that builds all the homes had other lawsuits in Texas and in other states because they said that the cement that was poured was cosmetic defect. And that's the same thing that I got.
Right.
So what I did was I pulled those court things that were filed and those homeowners won, by the way, major multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the home company I'm with. I forget the name of them. So I sent that in my letter, and the very next day he called and they wanted to come over to fix it. He said, all right, we're going to fix it. And they did. They fixed it because they realized they don't want another major lawsuit, right?
Right.
So it's always pays to do research. But going back to that is that I found there were at times the spirits in the house would try to warn me of stuff and let me know, that this isn't right or this person isn't right. And here's why. Is because they can read our minds and they know consciousness.
Yep.
So so you can only imagine what he's thinking. He's lying like, oh, they tell me to not do this because they don't want to have to pay for it and this and that. So he's thinking that of what he needs to do so that I don't get it fixed. Well, the spirits are recognizing that and getting pissed off because they don't like what he's thinking. Right. So they threw this object to let me know that we're mad at this guy. So you can't trust him. Right. Which I couldn't trust him, which is why I did the research and I found out, oh my God, they have to fix this. And the last thing they want is a huge community of 10,000 people suing them because they've had problems with their cement that was poured as well. So Interesting how spirits, we tend to think, oh my God, my house is haunted, it's evil, it's this and that. And sometimes they're trying to give you messages. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're trying to warn you.
It's the weirdest thing. And we're looking at each other because I want to explain something.
Go ahead,
that
Derek.
I want to explain something without exposing everything, like I just
Out of respect.
Yeah, out of respect for certain people. There was a location that closed, and
We can say it's our location. It was we didn't own it, but we were caretakers and we ran bookings out of it and stuff.
yes,
For public investigations,
but
private
there was one thing
investigations.
that happened.
Yep. It just happened after the post had been made that we closed.
And so basically, the owner of the building, when he was in there by himself a few days ago, he saw a full figure at the location where we were at,
Mm-hmm.
and that we was running. And he goes home, and apparently a bowl flies off the shelf in his kitchen and breaks, or however it was. And it kind of goes back to what you were just saying about spirits knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And
They know.
we still have to go there and say our last goodbyes to the spirits there, because they were very intelligent spirits. And like you said, these spirits will say something that, like, before you could even say it, they'll say it through like a spirit box or something. Like,
Right.
oh my God, like I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it happens there. They know you. And if you try to communicate with them and call them out by their names, there are specific spirits in there that will acknowledge you.
Hey, Jenny, did you just hang on, Derek? Jenny, did you just see the mist that just went past Alicia's face? All right, you're smoking. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, all right. Just double checking. That's fine. All right, we got it.
All right.
You're gonna see me hauling ass that way? No.
I was just
No,
because that's happened.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's happened on some of these live interviews where
It
we've
does,
seen something,
yeah.
a shadow behind them, and they're the only ones home. Like, today,
Yeah.
the door slamming. So I'm just
Yeah.
double checking. Okay, we know it's
Yeah.
just it's your vaping, which is fine.
We've had weird stuff, glitches and things that happened when we were on podcast before.
Yeah.
But
But you were saying, Derek, about the property and about the bowl.
yeah,
and
and
see the
so
spirits.
and they know what's going on. And
Absolutely.
I think that they
Yeah.
want,
Well, they're just like us, but they can hear and feel everything. And the thing is that, thought, when you're outside the physical body, there is no speech. It's actually thought, which is your 100% consciousness. So all the thoughts are in the environment. So they know our thoughts too, because our thoughts are actually projected in the environment. They don't stay in the brain. So you're talking about thought projection, telepathy. Excuse me. So what happens is they know what you're thinking. Like I've told people, because I know this from such long experiences of doing this. Even when I was a little kid, I'm like, I'm seeing the ghost go. I go, oh my God, can the ghost see me like I can see it? And the ghost turns and waves at me. And I never said a word. I just thought it, right? So I knew at a young age, they read our minds. So when we go in, it's funny because when I did a lot of Dave Schrader's events and stuff in the early days, when we're going to all these locations, people say, oh God, I hope the ghost doesn't know I'm scared. I'm like, I said,
Well, now you just
well,
let them know.
I said, you don't even have to say a word. They're going to know you're scared because you're thinking it.
Yeah.
Be careful what you think,
Right.
you know? So that's funny. That's funny.
right. Yeah, I'm just like, wow.
Right. And like what Tom just said, the spirits there were getting
Like, look at
to
Tom
be
says, yeah,
taken the
they were finally
knowledge.
getting to be acknowledged and heard, and they pulled the rug from under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So it was just so ironic that you brought that up.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It just popped into my head, and I
Well,
wasn't
I
really
mean,
gonna say
I
anything.
wouldn't really consider it irony, even,
No, no.
because things
a
happen
reason.
for a reson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I
They
think
do,
it was
Alicia.
the perfect line up of what's supposed to be talked about, and I don't know what, there was a comment on one of the posts that she did.
We'll talk about it after.
Late towards the end. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, I just didn't know what he wanted. I wanted your opinion, so maybe later towards the end of the show we can kind of explain, on a
And
comment.
the thing is, they can even predict the future. And I just saw someone walk by in the back. It's a person though. They're trying not to be seen. But we saw you, just so you know.
They have a hot
Said,
house.
oh, I hope they don't see me, but we saw you. And there they go again. Dun, 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 dun. How low
That's
can
my
you go?
youngest.
Chris just
Limbo.
brings the spirits out. That's all.
That's right.
Right.
Chris brings the spirits out.
I remember when I was doing Spook Scotland, Ireland, the second show. We were doing Haunted Ireland, and they had talked about us doing Wales. I said, guys, don't be talking about that until we finish this, because I wasn't really happy the way things were going. And I'm like, and plus, you can't talk about another season until you've done everything you possibly can to make that season great. And it's always bad luck to do that. But I remember they were talking about that. Ryan was talking about that with our director and producer. And I remember the next location we went to, I was investigating, and all of a sudden I felt this like heaviness. And then I felt this feeling like, and a voice says, this is the last show you're going to do. And it says, there's not going to be another show after this. And I'm like, oh, wow. So this is the last season of this show, and I'm like, damn, do I even want to finish the rest of this? No, I'm here to investigate and talk to these spirits. Right. It's like, wow, that's depressing. I said, why are you telling me that now? And they said, we just thought you should know. And it's not anything that you or the team's done wrong. He says, you will know later why. And I said, okay. So that was just really weird. And then sure enough, over a year later, in talking to the corporate, to Warner Brothers, we discussed, a few things. And, they'd said, it's not going to come back. Here's why, and I was just like, oh my God, wow. I remember them telling me, and here we are, and it's pretty accurate with what you're saying. I'm just like, I'm not upset at all, because they told me, and it's the same thing when I was doing Help My House is Haunted, and when they would pick me up in the car, they would take me to a specific location, a meeting point. And then I would get out of the car, and then I would get in the car with Barry and Sandy, and then second season, Barry and Jane. So I never knew where we were going, and I didn't want to know. I didn't care. I mean, I'm there to speak with the spirits. I don't need to know anything about the location, because I'm there to talk to the spirits, not the location, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I get in the car, and this was the first season, and Barry's like, what are you getting, Chris? And I'm like, well, I've been getting stuff the past couple of days when I sleep. And sometimes I would get stuff. I would have dreams, visions of visiting these places or coming in contact with these spirits in the void months before I was even there, and before we even had the locations. So there's a thing once you've done the gateway, if anybody's done the gateway, but also you've had a near-death experience, time is irrelevant. So you will tend to travel consciously in between and outside time, whether that's in the future, whatever. Okay. So I'm in the car and I'm telling him stuff. And I'd even previously, before we arrived, I had done some drawings. I said, this is what I see. And I did drawings and sent it to him. And then sure enough, the very first episode, we're going for a walk in between filming. We had a couple hours after breakfast, and we used to go for hikes. And I used to love doing that in the morning, right after breakfast. Let's go for a hour hike and then come back. So we're hiking, and then it's me. This time it was me. I think it was me, Sandy, it was me, Jane, and Barry. And we're going down this really cool path. And as we're walking down this path, our director of photography says, hey guys, turn around, let me take a picture. This looks like a great shot. So he takes a picture. And he sends it to us later in the day, the picture, because I wasn't thinking anything of it. And I go, guys, go in your WhatsApp, look at the drawing that I sent you 2 months ago. And everybody's like, holy shit. I drew this path with the trees going like this. And I said, I'm being shown this, and we will come in contact with two spirit female ghosts. And also there'll be something with the horse and carriage. Well, the house we were at, in the backyard, it used to be horse and carriages, like in the 1800s.
Okay.
So that was the location. And the two spirits we came in contact were the two girls that said, help us find our father. And it was just amazing that 2 months before I had seen this and felt them. And here's the photograph the director of photography takes of us standing there, not realizing, because I never sent the drawing to him. I sent it to Jane and I sent it to Barry. So you'll have these things that happen in the future with spirits. But going back to the original story here is we're in the car and I'm telling him, I go, I see this knight And I don't know if this is the location we're going to right now, but I see us going to these multiple places, and I have to now focus on, okay, just this location, not a mix of the next 8 or so locations we're going to. I need to know this location. So that had to become a determining factor of me not to jump in time to these other places. So I said, I see this knight. I'm standing next to a knight, and there's a chair, and I take out my recorder, and the knight says to me that we have something very important to tell you, and it's going to be life-changing and life-altering. And I'm like, okay, so I can't wait to hear this. What's it going to be, right? That this knight is going to tell me, this spirit that is next to this knight. And Barry's like listening, and he tells me, he's like, Chris, we don't have any location we're going to where there's a knight. And I said, I don't care whether you know of one or if we're going there or not. I'm just telling you what I saw, right?
Right.
So we had filmed, we went back home for a couple of weeks, came back, filmed a couple episodes, went back home, and now we're on our last block. In the last block, we had 3 episodes, so we were doing an extended shoot for like 3 weeks. And during the first episode, the third to last episode, we get a call that whatever the location was is canceled. So now production's scrambling to find another location for us for the very last episode, and or the second to last episode, whatever it was. And they said, well, we might have to, increase budget, and you guys might have to come back again to shoot the last episode, or they might just cut it. We don't know. So anyway, they said they found a location. Okay, that's great. So we're at our second to last location, or the last location, I can't remember. And I'm in the car, and you can tell by Barry, he's got this, so Chris, where are we going now? And I could sense this must be the location with the knight, because I can read his body right now, because he's like super excited, like,
yeah.
And it just popped into my head just from his body response, the knight. And I said, well, it's possible. I believe we're going to the knight and the chair, So we get to Fulford, the Great Fulford, which is this giant like mansion castle. It's probably one of the biggest homes I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. The living room, you're like this big inside this giant living room. And I see all these soldiers, and that's another story I won't get into, but I see all these soldiers. I communicate with them. We pull up to the house, and I start walking around this mansion, and I'm wondering, is this the place with the knight, And I'm going from room to room and not seeing it. And then you can see the crew kind of like smiling, and I'm like, all right, this must be the knight I've been talking about for months. Sure enough, I walk in, there's the knight, there's the chair. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I'm so excited. I walk up to the knight, and I've got my recorder, and I said, all right, you've been wanting to tell me something. And, what is it about this place? What is it about me, or whatever you got to say? I record it, and I play it back, and it's a clear EVP. And I'm like, oh my God. And this is 2017. Okay. And I go, wait a minute, this can't be. So I play it back, and the crew's like, what does it say? I said, I'm afraid to say what this says, because if I say this and it never happens, it's going to be ridiculous. So I'm just going to tell Barry, and I'm going to tell Sandy, and I'm going to tell a really good friend of mine what it is. But I'm documenting this right now. We have this, and I'm going to play it for you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm playing it for you right now, and they film it. I said, this is what it's saying, but I don't want to give him any life or support to this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we do the investigation and everything. He says, well, is it something bad? I said, well, yeah, it's something bad. I'm not going to say what it is. All right, well, then you just need to, and when you watch the show, you can see how bad it's edited. And I end up saying, well, they're telling me it's, there's something else wrong in this house, whatever. I got to find out what it was. And there was a curse there too that I had to remove and deal with. So we narrated it towards that, even though what it truly said in that moment was, you have cancer. Said that I had cancer. And
Wow.
I'm like, this is 2017. I didn't have cancer. I didn't, there was no signs. There was no nothing. So I told Perry and Sandy, I played it for them, like, oh my God, they got to be lying. So I remember when I got home from the trip, I'm analyzing the audio before and after. And then I heard after it says, but you can beat this. I go, I think it's saying, but you can beat this. So I had that in the back of my mind. I started going on supplements and everything to help, against cancer. And I bought this multi-wave oscillator, which I don't really use that much, but I tried whatever for about a year just in case. And then I just stopped doing it. I said, I'm not going to get cancer, right?
Right.
Well, of course, as we all know, I ended up getting diagnosed with cancer in June of 2024 with MDS, which quickly mutated into aggressive form of AML leukemia within like 45 days, which was considered terminal at the time.
Right.
So I'm sitting there going, in the back of my mind, they were right. And I remember the day of the diagnosis, because I'd been in and out of the hospital 2022, 2023, and early 2024. I kept going to the hospital being sick with infections and everything. And I thought it was long-term COVID. We all thought it was long-term COVID. Every test came back negative. So like, there's something wrong with me. And I'm like, I don't know how I can keep living this way. I can't do my jobs. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm tired all the time. So when on June 23rd, I go in from a bone marrow biopsy test, and the doctor says, you got cancer, you got blood cancer. And I was relieved. I was like, oh, well, they told me 2017 I had cancer. So that's what this is. Oh my God, this is what's been the problem for all these years. Right. Now we know, okay, let's take care of this. And I find out, well, not everybody survives MDS and you're late term. And it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. So I get in my car, first person I call up Barry on WhatsApp. Barry Guy from Help My House. I said, Barry, guess what? Came true. He knew right away. Right away. Now, remember, we had not talked about this since 2017, and here it is, June 2024. And I call him, I tell him, Barry, it came true, right?
Right.
So, sorry, my phone's ringing. I forgot to turn it down. And Barry sits down. He was going on a hike. He goes, you got cancer? I said, yeah, I got cancer. He goes, you're kidding me. I said, no, I just got the bone marrow biopsy. I go, Barry, they were right. They were right that long ago. He's like, oh my God. I said, well, I go, but remember, I believe part of the EVP after that says, but you can beat this. So I got to figure out how I'm going to beat this, Right. So that was interesting, but it gets more interesting because they had sent me to Northwestern. I chose Northwestern over Rush. Went to Northwestern, and Dr. Mehta, we're sitting down and he's looking at all my blood work. He says, okay, well, what we're going to do is you're going to go through the initial phase of chemotherapy. Then you're going to have a bone marrow transplant, because I was aggressive and they considered my immune system was shot. I wasn't going to make it because I was neutropenic at this time. My white blood cells were down to 1. I was really sick. I was really sick, and he's looking at the blood work and he's like, oh boy. I go, what? He goes, well, we have your records going back to like 2016, 2015 from other times you've been in the hospital at Northwestern. And I'm seeing a pattern. I've seen this before. It's extremely rare. And I said, what's the pattern? He's like, we need to do another bone marrow biopsy right away. And I said, okay. And thank God he did, because then we realized it mutated into leukemia. I was terminal now, right? But he says something very interesting. He goes, I'm looking at your blood, and it looks like in 2017 is when the cancer started.
Oh my God.
Because you see your blood change. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's like, no, it's right here. Look. And I'm like, what? I'll be damned. So the spirits knew in my body, by looking at my body, that I had something wrong with my aura, with my life force. And that life force, which they probably know because of open telepathy and communicating with everybody else, oh, that's cancer. He's sick. It's cancer. So I find that just fascinating that they knew before anybody else, and it was confirmed at Northwestern that they believed this started in 2017 based on my blood. Now, I was happy that we finally knew what was wrong. I didn't listen to the terminal or everything else because I believed, you know what, we're gonna create a miracle here. So you guys do what you got to do. I've got my spirits to talk to that have already told me I can beat this, but I have to beat this, that I have to focus mentally. And that's what I did. So it's just, to me, it's fascinating that the spirit realm knows the future. They know. And even when we were filming Haunted Ireland, we're at Alwy Cave. The elementals, I told them, I said, listen, I will pray for you. And I know you're not able to go into heaven because you're not from the original bloodline and this and that. But I'm going to tell God, I want you in my heaven. I want you to live in my beautiful heaven with the forests and the canyons and everything. And I'm going to tell them, no, I demand that they live with me, that they have a place to go because they have nowhere to go. So they're saying, and because then some of the other the EVPs or the elementals are talking, and they're saying that, and as crazy as this sounds, but when you've been doing this and communicating with this, and you got the audio, it's there. And they said, well, he's gonna pass away in 1.5 years, so that's when we'll go. Well, 1.5 years is when I got the leukemia and the MDS, and I was terminal.
Yeah.
So they were thinking I was going to go at that time. And I said, guys, no disrespect for you, but I'm not going.
Right.
It's like I'm staying for a while, but when that time comes, I'm going to voice my opinion that you should be able to access my haven, my heaven. So it's just, and here's the thing. I did that trip in Ireland with Secret Ireland Tours. We did this this past September, October. while we were there, I'm going to all these locations that I visited. I think it was 2023 we filmed that season, or 2022. And I'm getting all these EVPs at every single location. He's healed. It's gone. He's better. He's healing. And at first I'm like, why they tell me I'm healed? I'm healing. Oh my God. Because when I was there, I had the cancer. They could tell. But now they see that it's healed. It's my body's healing from the chemo.
That's amazing.
And I'm just like, holy cow. So this is just to share with you guys and your audience that they know, they can read our body. They know what's going on. They can see in our life force, but also they know our thoughts.
Yeah. Because I remember when you announced that you had leukemia, it was the weekend of Michigan Paracon.
Yeah.
And I remember just all of a sudden that Paracon went quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop because everyone got the notification on Facebook, and Dave and everyone. I just remember they did the silent auction, or not the silent auction, but the auction at the end. And everyone was stepping up to help you with funds and stuff. I appreciated that. Dave kept, and at that point I was getting weaker and weaker. I wanted to go online and speak, but I had an issue. And the issue was my mom, who had been fighting illnesses and trying to recover and healthy. The retirement center that she's at, two of the ladies there are big fans. They watch all the shows and they follow me on social media, and they tell her everything I post on social media. So my sister and I decided not to tell my mom that it was terminal at the time, because if we did, I told my mom, I'm just going in there, just going to do I'll be fine. I'll be out in a couple of weeks, It's no big deal, Mom. I didn't tell her, well, Mom, I might not make this, because it was up to me to try to fight this, but I don't want her, because she can't do anything. She can't drive. She can't go anywhere. She's in a wheelchair. So that would have destroyed her. And the reason why is that when my father was in a care center and his wife had died, and then we found out that she took everything, all his money and all that stuff, my dad never listened to me. I ended up telling him what she did, and within a week, he deteriorated. Oh, wow.
So I realized that that'll destroy, because some people hold on for just one or two things. So my mom would have not been able to hold on. She would have died. So I'm like, I can't tell her. She can't know this. So I'm like, shit, I can't tell the public, I can't tell people how bad this is. I told Dave how bad it was. And I told some of my friends, I said, but I can't come out publicly and say like, this is it. Because if I do, they're going to see this and they're going to tell my mom.
Right.
Like, oh my God, Pat, we're so sorry. Like, what do you mean we're so sorry? What's wrong? And I couldn't do that. So it was like a catch-22, even though I wanted to talk to you guys and say, guys, I may not be here, but I'm going to fight, and I just want to say I love you, everything else. And I didn't even have really a chance to do that at first. Right. And then my mom kind of figured it out. She's like, you're not telling me the truth. She kind of sensed it, and I played it off for a little while, but then she knew.
She knew.
She's sensitive. She knows she has stuff. She feels stuff. And she just called, by the way, you guys, I'm on here. So
she's like, he must be doing something if he hasn't answered my call.
Right. So it's just wild, but not only the dead, but also the living can sense things and recognize things as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. Definitely.
That's just an incredible story, man. Like
it's documented. I mean, it's they have the footage, and I've got the the witnesses and everything, and I've got the audio. I have not listened to the audio since, because to me, there's no reason to. I got to beat this, and that's what they said. So I already knew years ago, but I do plan to go back and listen to the audio when I get back to doing my podcast. I'll put it on there so people can hear it.
Right.
But it's just, go ahead.
How are you feeling now? Like today, how are you?
Today was a very good day for me. The only reason I have this on is that been messing up my hair and everything, and it's kind of cold. It's getting colder. I try to keep the temperature 65, 66, just because it was like $300 something for heating last month. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the frick? So it's, and I like it a little bit chillier to sleep. I like it to be 65, 66 when I sleep, but it's like today was kind of cold. So I put this on everything. But anyway, what was your question?
How are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
There's good days and bad days. I'm recovering. The good thing is my blood's slowly going up, which is excellent, because we felt it was damaged from the last chemo that I did, and it was not moving. And they're like, oh shit, we probably should have stopped the previous one than this one. Your body just couldn't handle it. Because I have found out from other people and other organizations that the chemo can destroy your immune system. And what I believe too is that when they go give someone a brand new transplant and then they go give them chemo again, you're destroying that brand new freaking immune system you gave them.
Right.
What are you doing? You know? So not everybody's immune system can rebuild itself and bounce back. So mine had a hard time doing that. But the thing that I deal with now, it'll be a year, the end of February, that I'm done with chemo. Okay.
Oh, wow.
But because I had the most intense chemotherapy, which is cytarabine, and I had that 3-4 times. Okay. I had it the first initial 5 weeks, and then I had 3 infusions of it. It is considered the most intense chemotherapy, one, because it breaks the brain barrier, and it also can destroy your central nervous system. I was coughing up and sneezing up clots of blood.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I had all my gums in my teeth. My teeth, these used to be straight, and they've moved. Okay. Because I thought I was going to have my teeth fall out, because people had their teeth fall out. I had my nails cracking and falling out on my hands and my feet. I had bumps all over my body. My hair fell out. I can go on and on. The eyes, the pain in the eyes, everything. Ringing in the ears, which I never had before. So I was having every part of my body was going through, major issues.
Yeah.
Then when that started clearing up, hair started growing back. I still get eye pain, and even my eyes tend to hurt and burn. And I still get teeth pain, and I get really bad headaches and neuropathy in various parts of my body, but mostly it's the head and the eyes that hurt the most. So that is called, I forget what it's called, like CRCI or CPR or something, which is like chronic chemotherapy damage to the central nervous system.
Oh, wow.
So I have that. And unfortunately, we're hoping, because they said it can take 1 to 2 years for it to slowly go away, or it could be lifetime.
Right.
So we have to wait till 1 more year. And if I still have the symptoms, then it could be lifetime. Now I see a brain doctor in March, where they're going to scan and do these different types of scans to look at my brain because of the headaches and the memory issues and stuff I tend to get occasionally. And then the eyes, I went to an ophthalmologist, and they said, this is beyond us. You have to go to a neuro-ophthalmologist, but I'm not able to get in until April. So even right now I'm getting headaches again. So I have to see them to figure out, they're going to look at any internal type of damage. Now they did a scan of my brain and everything, and they didn't see any lesions or anything like that, which is good. But cytarabine can destroy the central nervous system, which means the synapses in the nerves, which aren't going to show up on the MRIs and everything.
Nope.
They may do tests on that to send signals through the brain to see what is active and what isn't. So it's just, that's the way it is. I'm here, and like they said, like my one doctor said to me at Northwestern, he says, let me put it to you this way. You can take, if I say his name correctly, Usain Bolt, who was the Olympic sprinter. He says, now, if that sprinter went and did the type of chemo you did, okay, he would never be able to run the way he did again, ever.
Wow.
Because it does that damage to your body. Anybody, the best athlete, whatever, the best mind thinker, whatever, they will never, ever get back to 100% because we know the damage that cytarabine. He goes, but we had no choice. We had to save your life. So that's the only thing we knew at that time, because you were terminal. You only had a couple weeks to live. And even by stopping it, what happened miraculously, even by stopping the cancer, you were only given 2 to 6 months at the most.
Wow.
So it's obviously, as he says, he doesn't like to use the word miracle. He said it is called some type of phenomenon that we just don't understand how you were able to beat this. And I said to him the last time I saw him, which was, what is this? This is going to be February. I saw him the second week of January. And I said to him, I said, you're not going to find anything extraordinary in my cells. And I said, I'm going to tell you how I beat it. And you can use this scientifically, medically, if you want, or spiritually. But I'm going to tell you this. I said, it was my mindset. I said to the creator, I said, okay, it's not my time to go. I still have work to do. So you're the one that can do the miracle, and I can too, by not accepting my fate. I'm not giving in to any fear. Like people say, fight it, fight it. If I fight it, there's resistance. If I fight it, there's anger and there's fear. No, I just surrendered. I just said, okay, I know it's in me. You're in me. Nothing I can do. No regrets. You've obviously been here for a couple of years. Now I know, but it's time for you to go. And that's the way I accepted it. And instead of me worrying about myself, every nurse and every doctor that came in, I'd say, "Oh, wow, I like your shoes you're wearing. You're wearing those Vans. Those Vans are really cool." The doctor walked, "Oh my God, it's a beautiful yellow dress." I talked to the nurse, "You work out, don't you? Do you do like, for some reason, I get a sense you were in gymnastics. Were you in gymnastics in high school or college?" She goes, "Oh my God, I was. How'd you know?" I could just tell by your body definition, but also I'm seeing jumping, so I get visions and stuff.
Right.
So I would read some of the nurses that would come in and we would talk ghost stories. They would tell me some of the stuff in the hospital, but I would always compliment people, and they would come in because I didn't want it to be about me, because if it was about me, then I'm putting focus and attention to the cancer. Don't want to do that. I want to act like there's no cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I act like there's no cancer and I don't show that type of emotion that supports it, I can defeat it. But then the biggest thing, like I told the doctor, was the prayers. I go, "Doctor, I'm very fortunate. I had people all over the United States, all over the world praying for me." I said, God had to listen to them, not me.
Right.
So that is what did it. So if you want to cure people, you need to do prayer circles. I said, you need to do prayer circles. I go, plus what helps is your guys' diet plan is terrible in the hospital. I said, I cut out some sugar. I cut out some tomato paste and stuff like that. And I was drinking green tea 3 times a day, organic green tea and ginger, because I quickly went online. I saw that was a great antioxidant against cancer, and it helps rebuild the cells, healthy cells. So I was drinking that every single day for 5 weeks straight. I said, that's what beat the cancer. All of that combined.
I'm gonna start drinking green tea and ginger every day.
And he says, well, we do know that cytarabine is really effective against cancer. I said, Doc, come on. You even said it yourself. So the other doctor stated that all you're going to be able to do was stop the cancer, not get rid of it, stop it, and give me 2 to 6 months. But as you're stating now, and the other doctors, is the cancer is undetectable, which means it's gone. He says, well, it could still be there. We just can't find it. I said, okay, so it could still be there. But it's a completely different diagnosis from then when I went in, where it's like, oh my God, we don't want to look you in the eye because you may not be here in 2 weeks. We're afraid to look you in the eye. So you guys can look me in the eye. I know you're worried that I may not be here, but I'm going to be here. And even if I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to die. Yeah, I'm not afraid to die.
So there's a study. There's a study on YouTube that people do with plants and with just different things that are alive, like
holistic.
Yes, and that's exactly what you were describing. Is if you talk to one plant and say, "I love you," and you know.
I studied that in college in psychology. We there was a couple studies, one with the babies where they were loved, the other ones weren't, and then with the plants.
Weren't. The ones that were talking positive and everything flourished. The other one,
Yeah, Derek.
But that also, what it has to do is that your energy sending to the life aura energy of that plant is becoming one. It's becoming affected. So by me saying that, this cancer has to go, it doesn't belong, I'm healed, I'm fine, and everybody's prayers supporting that. So from internal to external. So what's happening is internally I was doing that, but in sequence and collectively having other people externally, meaning that my environment internally and externally now was that the cancer's gone, I'm healed. So what happens is the law of manifestation, but also this is a holographic world. It had to be. I mean, that's my belief, is it had to be. Okay. Doesn't mean that, if I believed and everybody prayed for me to be a great basketball player, I'm going to be a great basketball player. I might improve better than I am now, but I'm a terrible basketball player, but that's different because cells, quantum physics, law of observation, a cell doesn't really do anything unless it's observed, and it will do what it does based on the emotion of the observer. So every observer that comes in, the cell's going to react differently because of the emotion. Yeah. It's not just like the mindset, it's the emotion behind it. Right. So my emotion was not of fear, not of fight or flight. It was neither. It says, I surrender to it, but now I'm going to mold this and take this and turn it into something else. Like I learned when I had my ayahuasca trip couple years ago, and I saw negative entities and negative things, and it turned into something beautiful. It says, you can shape this into something beautiful. So I'm going to turn this into something beautiful, this experience. And the doctor's going to be, wow, you're so optimistic. You're so funny. You're so this, considering your circumstance. I go, what's my circumstance? Well, your circumstance. I go, my circumstance is I am here to heal and get better. And you are here to help me do that. And while we're here, we can have fun. So I would walk around and I would scare some of the nurses, and I would walk up there and I'd be like, oh my God, like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, go out their desk. everybody's asleep, and I walk up, and I'd quickly, quietly walk up, and I'd stand there, and they don't notice me, and they're at their desk, and I go, hi. They go, ah! Oh my God, what are you doing? I said, I'm just saying hi. But
Just say hi. It's
sleeping. I said,
okay.
I can't sleep. I'm a night owl. And I go, why do I want to sleep when I'm in this awesome place that I can be talking to you and I can be walking around? They're like, go to bed. I go, no.
Chris just having trouble in the hospital.
Seriously, I made the best of it, and it was funny because a lot of my friends wanted to come visit me, and I told them no. It's just weird. I didn't want. I mean, some of my friends came and stuff, and other people, sadly, I told them no, which probably wasn't the best thing because they wanted to come see me and stuff. But I'm like, no, I just kind of want to be alone here and deal with this. But then the other thing is that my immune system was so low, I didn't want to take the chance of them getting sick because my buddy that had cancer kept getting sick from people visiting him, and he died. So it's like, I'm not going to put myself in that situation. Right. I got to do this on my own, but I love you. I'll see you later. And, a couple of people just showed up anyway. And I was like, wow, I can't get mad at them that, they want to see me. And so, but I did the best, I made the best of it because my dad did when he was in a hospital for 4.5, 5 years and he was semi-paralyzed. He made the best of it. He was nice to everybody. So he was my role model. He was my role model for this.
Right.
Wow, man, that's incredible. Like anybody who's out there watching right now and watches in the future, like this is right here, you're basically telling, this wonderful story about how like, you're beating your cancer and everything that you're going through, but in a positive way. Yeah. And you're not letting things get down. So, it's very inspirational for me to hear your story, and to keep pushing, right? And to just never give up. No matter what anybody's going through, no matter what anybody is going through, whether financial, whether health, whether anything, okay, let's move on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
Yeah. Not just cancer. It's about anything. Everyday life, about everything. Whatever you're going through. Just don't talk bad. Don't
feed into it.
Because then it's going to just get progressively worse and it won't get any better. You just got to keep looking.
Absolutely. And the thing is you look at, I remember another story in the hospital too, but if you've ever watched The Chosen, the series The Chosen, that's based on the apostles and Jesus. I mean, I was raised Roman Catholic, but I believe in a lot of different religions, and I can see paganism and stuff, how it's just so beautiful and amazing dealing with nature and stuff. So there are elements of all different beliefs that have some really amazing things from the Creator that I feel. Even Islam, I mean, people see this radical Islam, but real Islam, I mean, they love one another and their duty is to not hurt somebody, So we can go either way with any religion. There's good and bad. But I'm sitting there and I had watched a couple seasons previously before all this of The Chosen, and I see how they portrayed Jesus in this, which was just the best version of Jesus I've ever seen. Even some of my friends that are reborn Christians, they're like, oh, we don't watch this stuff because they never do the Bible right. Because no, you need to watch this. If there's anybody that's played Jesus the best, I think it's this guy right now, because the Jesus that I believe in is the one that is loving, caring, funny, and he really cares about every person, right? And that's what I'm seeing in the series. So you see that as he recruits the apostles, and then you see the apostles that kind of hate each other or to fight, and they slowly stop doing that. They learn to forgive and treat everybody. So I'm thinking like, well, what would Jesus do if Jesus was here with cancer? What would he do? He wouldn't be, well, obviously he'd probably heal himself, or he wouldn't heal himself because he didn't take himself off the cross. He was executed. But he would care about other people. And so that's the way I looked at it. Like, there was a nurse that came in and I kept seeing, I go, you okay? She goes, yeah, I'm fine. I go, nah, something's wrong. You want to talk to me? No, I'm good. I go, come on, you can talk to me. I'm a counselor. I said, so what is it? And then she unloaded it and she told me she's crying, and I'm telling her, I said, no. She goes, well, what? She goes, wow. I'll never forget, she made me cry, because then she says, I can't believe this. I go, what? She goes, you're right. She goes, but you're the one in here with cancer that's dealing with this aggressive form of cancer that may not be here. I'm supposed to be helping you and you're helping me. I said, well, that's what life is all about. Right. You don't let your circumstances take away from what your soul and spirit can truly do and what it is. Because I'm an eternal being, you're an eternal being. So we can still care about one another.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be about me? I mean, you're in here and you've got problems. Everybody carries something of what they're doing. Just because I'm going through this doesn't mean you're not going through something, you know?
Yeah.
So it was I told a buddy of mine, I said, I actually miss being in the hospital. He's like, why? I said, because I had people coming in to see me every hour of the day. And I would see new people daily, and we would engage. And I really enjoyed that. You know, not only that, I got room service, you know.
Chris got room service. That's all he misses.
You know, I get this menu, and the food was really good there too. And I'm like, all right, I'll take this, I'll take that, you know. And it was get whatever I want, you know. So that was nice, right? But there was so many nice people. And it was just so nice to be surrounded by a lot of these nurses and doctors at Northwestern that truly, really cared, you know. And I remember I went back there and I told them how much they cared, and I wrote some letters and stuff thanking you guys for what you did, because they were wonderful. They were empathetic. They were compassionate. They were funny. They were just great. I didn't really run into anybody that just like, oh, they're just doing the job because they have to do it. No, everybody truly cared about their job and cared about being there, except one person. There was one person, and I did report her because she wouldn't give me the remote. But that's a whole nother story. She was a jerk. But I went up to corporate and spoke to them about her. I said, this is not right, because she's doing this to me. She's doing this to a lot of other people. And other nurses were kind of afraid of her. But that was on a different floor. I was only on that floor that one time. So I felt I had to do something because nobody else was speaking up. And that's why I did that. But like I said, you know, you can take your pain and everything you're going through and you can turn it into something beautiful.
And then also, like, when you're like making others feel good about themselves, it makes you feel good too, you know.
Oh,
like,
totally. It made me feel so great.
Somebody smile or laugh. You know, I love that.
I mean, I read as much of the comments everywhere I could on a daily. Like Dave's like, have you seen all? I said, yeah, I'm reading them, dude. I sit here and read them. When I get some strength, I grab my phone and I sit there and I go through them. And I said, I'm crying along with everybody else. I'm reading these beautiful comments. I'm like, I didn't know, you know. I'm like, I had no idea this many people cared, you know. And it's not just about me. It's about allowing people to care, because I mean, we look at social media today and there's just like so much bullshit and so much negative stuff.
Yes.
And people get mad at me because I go, yeah, I hate bullies. I hate bullies. And I will post something that's wrong. If you're doing this to a child, if you're doing this to another adult, if you're doing this to an immigrant, whatever, I'm going to stand up for it, because I was raised to stand up and fight against bullies. And I don't like bullies. I don't care if you're a president of the United States. I don't care if you're a police officer. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're this. If you're a bully and you're going to treat other people, that means you treat everybody that way. And that's wrong. That's wrong, because we're all in this together. We're all going through something, you know, and you can have $2 in your pocket, $0 in your pocket, and you have $1 billion in your pocket. It doesn't give you the right to treat somebody some way. And that's the way I was raised. So I will voice my opinions, and unfortunately not everybody likes it, but that's the way it is. Tell me where I'm wrong. Please explain where I'm wrong.
You're
so
not.
It's just, you know, we need to, but the thing is that I've learned too, because I had this experience several months ago. It was really interesting. I was in the ether. I was sleeping, and they showed me, Chris, we want to show you something. The thing that's going on with this world, we want you to see other perspectives. So they showed me some other perspectives. And these people have these perspectives because based on their awareness or experience. They might have little experience in a certain thing, or their awareness is not as big to see a perspective slightly differently. So if someone truly sticks to this and they totally believe this, even though it's wrong, it's because their perspective is either narrow-minded, or their perspective doesn't have these other components that would make them change their opinion or have a different, broader perspective. And so I was seeing all these tunnel points of people looking at the same thing and how everybody had different perspectives. I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. It says, so don't attack their perspective. Try to find out what their awareness and their perception is to why they believe that or support that. And then you will see from their point of view why they're seeing through that lens, even though the lens may or may not be correct. And I was like, oh, that's such a good point. So I started seeing that. And I said, I want to comment more logically and from a point that makes people think. And I realized as I would comment on those things, some people get really angry. And I found out why they got angry was because I was making them think and question what they said. And they didn't like that. I said, okay, now it comes to an identity issue. They have an identity issue that their identity is very fragile. So now they're speaking out of emotion. So now they have some type of trauma in their life that causes them to react that way. And I'm like, okay, well, that's human. But now we know what the root of the problem is. So I would begin to see things become more aware of their perspective, whether or not it's true or right. But I would see why emotionally they're attached to that perspective.
9 times out of 10, it's taught, even from childhood, Yeah,
of course.
And people certain people don't like to be retaught or re-educated,
You're right. Jenny, I know
they just can't open their mind to other aspects.
Aspects of things, yes.
And Jenny, I know we're getting close to time here too, that you had said, I did not expect to go on all this. It just, I don't know what we're going to talk about, and I just, but that's just the way I am. I guess we just, someone says something and we go off onto
rabbit holes. And yep.
What was it that you wanted to talk about, Jenny? We haven't discussed.
I know you're starting to sell spirit art again, which I love that you're getting back into that.
Yeah, I wanted to. I did a drawing for my buddy last year because I hadn't done any new artwork much last year because I get these shakes, and I don't know if you can see it in my hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when I would try to draw like detailed stuff, it's just part of the neuropathy. I was like, oh, it'd be so, and my eyes too, because they did a test where my eyes will be looking at something and it jumps over here, then it jumps over here, jumps over here. So it was becoming very frustrating doing some really detailed work. So I said, I'm going to go back to my loose spirit art that I was doing like a decade ago, and just because it's easier for me to do this. And plus it'll get me slowly back into the art thing. So I started just drawing some spirit art, which I want to do one piece a week. I'm going to throw it on my Facebook and my social media and sell it on my Etsy. And
Can't really see it.
It's a little blurry, but
It's a little blurry.
And then there's spirit art I do. If people want to book with me, we do a short session where I do a reading with their guides, and then I draw them too. I can do that too. But I want to do some just on my own, whatever I get, and I draw and sketch, kind of like Picasso type sketches and stuff like you see here. It's very similar to this. Whatever visions or feelings or things, I'm just going to draw. Yeah. And I'm just going to put them online if everybody wants to buy them. The original one of a piece, you get the original certificate, whatever. And I was looking at what Cindy Kaysa charges and what other people charge and everything, and mine's really down low because I want to try to get these to sell and to move. Right. And I was looking at ChatGPT for the stuff that I've sold, and they've got me a lot higher I should be selling it for, but I know with the economy, people can't afford $500-800 for my work. So I've got them priced. They'll be priced anywhere between $200 and $350 for these pieces. So in the original pieces. So I'm doing that. I want to do that once a week. Hopefully people like them and someone buys them.
This looks better now. There it is, a little better. That's my
one. 2 years ago, I sold one of my paintings for $1,600, and then I sold another for $1,200 a year and a half ago. So yeah, there was a painting I sold back in the '90s for $3,000, but I decided that I had all my artwork from the '70s, '80s, and '90s. We're talking when I was a little kid. From high school, from college, and out of college. I had them all scanned in and over 100 pieces, and I'm going to be posting them on Etsy over the next coming months to just sell them. I'm going to keep just because they're just sitting in a box, and it's like, I want to do new stuff as time goes on, and that way I have to part with the old. It's a little way I can make some money, but in another way, it's for me to get, what good is it doing sitting here? People might want to enjoy this.
Right.
It's just sitting in a box. And if something ever happens to me, I know my sister's probably just going to throw everything away.
I would hope not.
No, I'm serious. I've seen my sister. She just doesn't want to deal with it. So she'll just have someone come in and take it, Oh, and it's like, I would rather have stuff. I have a will that has stuff in it. I'm going to redo it too. And here's the thing is, I knew before all this happened, we're going back to 2020, early in 2020, I went with my mom to an attorney and did a will. And I had my sister, my sister was on the will. She takes over, right? And I said, I got to get a will. I just got a bad feeling in case something happens to me. So I had it all done, ready to go,
Wow.
But I want to update it because there's other things, specifics. I want to make sure certain people get certain things. Like my buddy Alex, he wants the painting, the Jesus painting I've got hanging up in my living room that I did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it's huge, massive, one of a kind things that I did.
If you do any sessions at the upcoming Paracon, I will be the first one.
Oh, thank you.
We have to uncover more of my puzzle pieces, as we call them.
Puzzle pieces, huh?
Because I think I've done 3 or 4 with you now, and we each.
Oh, really?
Every time,
I do remember this. I gotta say this about Jenny. I think it was the 4th one I did. She's like, I like the other ones you did better.
I think it was this that I said it about.
I said I can't always outdo myself. I mean, the one on the left is my favorite. It's very simple, very balanced, and it was one of the first ones I did. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that at the Shooting Star Casino?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That. God, I did 13 in a row. I was booked solid.
Yeah, you were booked solid.
Because it takes me like an hour and a half or so, 2 hours to do them. Like, and it's like I was booked, and I'm like, I can't do anymore, And I remember staying late in the room while everybody else was gone, still doing them.
Right.
But I loved, that one.
That very first one.
Yeah.
It has my heart. Like this one. Yes, this one.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And then I've had, I think, this one plus 2 more plus the very last one in Janesville. And we're like, this doesn't make sense, but we're gonna go with it.
Yeah. I didn't even think of doing them at the Obscura Paracon. Was that March 21st and 22nd? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, tickets are selling. I hope because
I think they are. I haven't seen really.
It's got to do more marketing. We need more marketing.
Yeah.
I need to get a package in my email of banners and everything. We should all get banners and stuff that we can post on our social media. Yeah. We need tags. We need quotes. We need everything. Like each person should have like a little package, like an email, and then we can start posting all those all over social media to drive it. We've got to do that nowadays. Because I love the logo that he did. I love the ghost. He's got it very similar to my spooky.
Yes, he does.
And I think it's really cool, but let's tell everybody about it. I'm looking forward to it because this is only like 40 minutes away from me.
Yes.
So it's convenient. I don't have to get on a plane and travel, right now. And I know a lot of my people in the area are going to it, so it'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't,
so you don't have to be that far from us.
Oh.
You're coming to the Paracon Saturday for Broadhead.
We got to do a hangout session.
Yep, we're gonna be there the 21st. We're gonna come during the day for a little bit, so we'll get to see you.
Oh,
and
that's
I
awesome.
would love to. Are you going to be doing readings and like what?
I stopped doing reading for 2 reasons. One is I do readings at home here, either face to face, over the phone, or by Zoom. But I stopped doing readings at the conventions. Here's why. Okay. For 2 reasons, if you allow me to say this, is I would do about 10 on the weekend. So I might do 1 or 2 on Friday, and then I do the rest on Saturday and Sunday, a couple on Sunday. But I was also doing a lecture, and I was doing late night ghost hunts to 2 a.m. Okay. So I was so tired and you could go to my Booksy page and you'll see those reviews are still up there. There was a couple people that gave me negative reviews because they said, oh, he's yawning during my session. Yeah, because I've gone 2 to 3 days straight up till 2 a.m. with only 3-4 hours of sleep, and I'm like, oh my God. Right. But I'm like, you can't blame her because she's paying the money. She's sitting down. She wants her reading. But here I'm going like this. I'm like, that's rude. I admit that's rude. And then a second thing was like, because I had done the Michigan Paracon.
Hold up.
And when I had done the Michigan Paracon, there was a complaint I was never at my table, right? And I don't do the readings at the table. I would take them back to my room and I would do a private one-on-one because it gets very emotional and personal. I get deep stuff. I get past trauma. I get deaths. I get stuff people need to work on. So their emotions change. I cannot be doing that and getting interrupted at the table. Well, there was a couple complaints. One of them was that I was never at my table. and I hadn't been invited back. Plus, I think I got upset when I was speaking because my computer wasn't working and they weren't working, and I wanted to do my lecture and I only got like 10, 15 minutes or whatever it was. So I realized, I got to listen to what people are saying, that they're upset. I'm not always they're paying me to be there, but I'm not at my table because I'm doing readings in my room. So I can't do the readings. Like, why don't you do it? I'm not those that can sit at a table and do readings and then be interrupted and forget where I just can't do that. It's not fair to the client. It's not fair to the people at the table, because when I'm at the table, I got to talk, but I'm never at the table because I'm doing readings in my room. So I said, I'm not doing that anymore. If I am going to do something, I started doing spirit art. I'll do spirit art at the table because I can, I'm just drawing and everything, something I see. I've already got the image in my head. Right. So I can go back and forth and do that. That works better, I think, not only for me, for the promoter of the convention, because I'm at my table. And second, it works better from people coming up like, oh, you're never at your table. We came to see you and you weren't there and we left. I'm there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that works better. But if I do it, I'm only going to do a couple. I'm not going to do it the entire time. I might only take like maybe 4 people, because I really want to, having been what I've gone through, right, and I don't get out much, I really want the time to engage with people and talk to people like I did the Dead of Winter or the Days of the Dead, right? That was great because I had people coming up. I had people that I didn't expect to come up, some famous people. Oh my God, I'm a fan. Oh, really? And I'm just like, holy cow, I watched you when I was a kid and this and that. It was like so humbling and so cool. That's awesome. To meet some of these people, right? I'm like, oh my God, I watched you in that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and this and that, and it was just like, it was really wild, right? So for me, I want to be at my table. I want to be able to engage with people, share common interests, and have conversations, because everything I've gone through the last 3-4 years, I've been sick. I haven't been able to go to a lot of events except the one-day ghost hunt that I do. So I haven't done any conventions because of what I've been going through. So now it's like, no, I want that time to talk to people and get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
And it's like someone just asked if I have anything planned. I don't know, are they talking to me or are they talking to you guys or
you?
Me?
I know you have music coming soon.
Yeah, I'll say real quick, I made a list so I didn't forget. But I've been very busy the past 5 weeks and every single day working on the Boogeyman Blues album. And to state really quick is when I was going through the cancer, I really didn't watch TV because I didn't feel well. But I had, my thoughts were always present too, which was nice. I didn't have racing thoughts or anything like that. But when my cat died, when I was in the hospital the first 5 weeks, I was so devastated, I wrote a song. And I felt that was the way for me to express myself. So I wrote a song, Will I Ever Hold Your Paw Again? And then I started writing more and more songs, not with any intention to really do anything with it. But next thing you know, I've got 50 songs, 60 songs, 70, 80, wow, 90 songs. There's no exaggeration. I mean, I can show you. I showed a buddy of mine, look at all the songs I got and look at the categories and everything. He's like, holy shit, what do you think I've been doing for the past year and a half? Nothing but this. That's all I was able to do. You're laying on a couch, you're laying in a hospital bed. So I'm on my phone writing lyrics. I'll come back to that. And I stored it. I organize everything. And then I go right in the program and I'd write. So I was writing stuff in Suno and I get this instant gratification, or, oh, that sucks, delete or whatever, or just save that for later. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to work that more. So I was doing it just to pass the time and take and as you know, studies, music, there's plants, you play terrible music, whatever, and the music and the plant dies. You play beautiful, loving music and the thing flourishes. So I was like, I'm just going to make music and make me feel better, right? So last year, my buddy's like, he laughs, he goes, dude, you should make an album. Because he was a professional musician. He was in a band called Warrior Soul, had 6 records with Geffen Records. He opened up for Iron Maiden, Kiss, all of them.
Oh, wow.
He even toured with 9 Inch Nails. I mean, he was big time, right?
That's awesome.
And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. He's like, I was kidding. I said, no, that's a great idea. So I got serious about it and I finished off the songs and then went into the studio for post-production and going on the 6th week, this coming week, and then had other musicians come in to fill in some of the other pieces of the instruments that weren't digital that I had created. And I've got 21 tracks. I had 23. I had to take 2 off because I'm over the limit allowable on CD and vinyl. So it's going to be 2 vinyl and 1 CD. And I'm going to do that first, and then it will go to digital download and everything like that. I'm still trying to figure out all the legal stuff and everything.
iTunes. Okay.
That's amazing.
And it's the first album is blues. It's like old blues, very similar to stuff you see in the movie Sinners. And it's also some little modernized blues, some groove, some soul, gospel, all that's got paranormal in it.
Oh, wow.
And there's only 2 songs that aren't paranormal. One of them is Stomp, and it's about, stomping music. Hey, yo. Right. So I did a song called Stomp that is about, your girl leaves you or she doesn't want to be with you anymore, said she loves you, but she left for somebody else. You get mad. What are you going to do? What are you going to stomp? Right. So I wrote a song about that. And then, hey, yo, gotta go. When I used to go out all the time back in like the 2000s, I used to go to grand openings of bars and nightclubs all the time. I was a total socialite Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go to all these grand openings, people I knew and stuff in the industry, in the restaurant and bar industry. So I used to go and got to know a lot of the VIP and the bouncers. And when somebody would do something like, hey, yo, you got to go. You're causing a ruckus. You got to go. So it was always like, you got to go. Right. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, hey, yo, and so I looked at, I go, what does hey, yo mean? And I saw it's blues. It goes back to the blues. Hey, yo is not copyrightable because it's a blues thing that everybody says. So I wrote a song called Hey, Yo, you got to go. Right. But I did it with the style of music that I've been doing on the album. It's a great song. I'm like, oh my God. So I told Jake, Jake, several of these songs, I guarantee you rappers are going to want to do versions of these as a rap. I guarantee you. Not only that is certain gospel rock stars or whatever are going to want to do covers of some of these songs. That's my hope. So I'm licensing all the music and everything so they can lease it and do all that stuff. My hope is that professional people out there will want to sample and do stuff, and I'll have it all set up legally that they'll be able to do that. So I'm creating music not just as an artistic expression about the paranormal and stuff that I've gone through, but I'm doing it as an art form so that other musicians that are out there that actually perform, because I don't perform music, they will want to do it. Now, I've had guests play piano on this. I've had guests with the drums, cymbals, I did the tambourine and a little bit of vocals, but they have the guitar and stuff that's on this as well. They played the guitar and everything. So I've got between AI, computer, and some real instruments all mixed together. The human element, I'm the producer, putting it all together. I wrote all the lyrics, the titles, and that's what it is. So it's an expression that I'm excited about. And I've already got all the other music lined up to follow. So this is the main thing I've been working on every day. I expect it to release in April. I should have the CD by the Obscura Paracon. I'll probably have the CD.
Oh, yeah.
But the vinyl the vinyl probably won't be ready until April. And at that same time, I'll release it digitally. But and then May 15th, I've determined I will be releasing another album. It's probably going to be Love. I've got this thing called Love, which is very similar to Conjure One and Delirium type music, kind of dance, electronica, stuff about the afterlife, everything. So I've got that to do. And then we've got, February 21st, I'm investigating the Ethnic Heritage Museum. There's only 4 tickets left for that. It's almost sold out. We've got Obscura Paracon in March 21st, 22nd. And then May 23rd, I wanted to do a daytime event, something different than my Paranormal Access night times. And the Aquascape in St. Charles, my buddy works there. He's been there for a long time. It's a beautiful place. Water fountains, turtles. There's a giant pond, man-made. This company builds ponds for people all over the world. And they built stuff for Shaquille O'Neal, some of the successful athletes. They're building this giant safari aquarium in Africa for all the animals. This multimillionaire's got this home where all the wild animals, giraffes, everything come to drink water. So they're building this gigantic aquarium for all the animals. So I'm having this event there. I will start off with a lecture, everything I've learned about the soul, living and death, and talk about how I beat cancer and how the soul plays a big part of that. Then Diet will be doing a 2-hour gallery reading for everybody present. And then we'll be able to talk in between, and we'll get a tour of the whole facility as well. So it's a unique opportunity to have all of this as one. It'll go from 1 to 6 p.m. And then we'll go out to dinner somewhere in the area.
That's awesome.
That's on May 23rd. And I don't have anything else planned from that because I'm so focused on all this at the moment.
Right.
And then artwork, I'll probably get back to doing more detailed artwork, maybe July or August. In the meantime, I got my hands full.
You
So
do.
where-
You definitely do.
How do you get a reading from you then? Like, and how much is a reading?
If you go to my website, ChristopherFleming.com, okay, I have to update the events on there. I haven't done it yet. I hope to do that this week. But you go to ChristopherFleming.com, that's one M, and you'll see spiritual consultations up there. Okay, you can book a reading. Click on that, and a page explains everything. All right, and then there'll be a button. That button will take you to Booksy. All right, you go to Booksy, and then you'll see all the services that I offer, whether it's a question and answer for 30 minutes, spiritual consultation for 45 or 90, which is basically a reading. Talk to your guides. There's the counsel 7, whereas I contact your counsel, your guides that are with you, and we talk to them back and forth. And then I do some courses on major definite purpose. I just had a client recently for that. And then also Sixth Sense, how to improve your sixth sense. I do those 2 courses. Or if you want spirit art, you can do spirit art. So those are the several services. Now for the price, very reasonable compared to the other people that have done TV and everything. You're not going to find it cheaper. Is this thing's like $150, $175, whatever it is for a reading. And I think for like 90 minutes, it's like 200. So very reasonable. It's not 300, it's not 800, not 600. It's something that you can afford. And I've kept those prices pretty much the same for the last 10 years. And even if you only want to spend $80, you get a 30-minute Q&A, so and I thought about putting on there because people have just wanted to talk to me. And some people book readings just to talk, that I might just add another service, just conversation time. If you want to talk for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, I might put that on there. Let's just talk. What do you want to talk about? I might offer that. I know there's a woman that she was being interviewed. She shows how much money she makes a year. This is different though. She had her husband quit, and she does this full time. Is men will call her, and she would just talk to men about relationships and whatever else. That's it, and just give them advice or listen to them like a counselor. And she says she's booked like 6 months out, and that's what she does. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool, because sometimes people need people to talk to.
Right.
So I might add that on there too, because some people are like, well, I just want to talk to you. And I said, and just talk about stuff. I said, okay, well, I need to.
Dude, I can definitely see that, because like I
need to add that.
more.
I need to add that because I like to talk too, as you can tell. So
I mean, Chris is always talking, especially when you get with him in person.
Hey, but it's informative stuff.
And I want to talk about your tattoos too, because I know you got a sleeve too.
Yeah, this is Archangel Michael. This is similar to the shield I saw as a kid when Michael appeared. And these are the 7 angels with Gabriel, Michael, and the other Uriel, Raphael, which they're like over there somewhere. And then these are the soldiers from Fulford. I told you when we drove up, I had an experience with them, and I had them put on here.
That's cool.
Because that changed my life, that experience. So, I was going to have Jesus put on here over here, and then I was going to have the creator with the cloud and the chair experience I had. But I got cancer, and finding out that tattoos, when the ink goes into your blood system, it kills white blood cells. So getting a tattoo right now probably be the last thing I want to do, since my white blood cells are trying to repair themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they ask you, do you have cancer? Are you going through chemo and you get a tattoo? Because it's the worst thing you could do at the time. So I might be done. I mean, we were going to colorize this and add other stuff, but I might be done. So.
Right.
That'd be cool if somebody, maybe me, would get an art commission from you, and it would be like my next tattoo.
I've had several people do that. I've done that for people. I've done drawings, and they haven't. Not only that, when I was at Gettysburg, I think it was Gettysburg. Jenny, were you there when the one guy wanted me to be the one tattooing? And I'm like, I don't know how to tattoo. So the guy,
no, I don't think I was there.
So I tattooed something on his arm. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So they have, and I'm sitting there. So I went and drew it on his arm. And I was just like, and that's before I had a tattoo. So I didn't know what it was like. Right. So I had someone, they wanted me to do it. I didn't charge them or anything. If I don't remember correctly, I think I just did it. They wanted me to do it. So I did it for them.
I can't even really show you mine. There's my ghosty.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
So I think I need another ghosty here after my next surgery.
Oh, that's cool. Should do my spooky. Why don't you do my spooky? Put my spooky.
I'll get spooky.
That'd be cool.
I just have to go out to Pennsylvania, and my husband's brother does my tattoos for free. So I just have to go to Pennsylvania, which isn't that hard to do because I go to a lot of events in Pennsylvania. So I just add spooky to this one, and I'll have a female and a male.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. You know, I don't want to say I had, I was going to do NFTs when they first came out. I had a whole series that I created all these characters for, and then NFTs dropped and they're not even a thing anymore. And I'm like, damn. But then I saw that, what is that Lombardo demon doll that became really popular?
Boo-boo?
Yeah.
Zuzu? Oh, yeah.
I thought about, if I get time this year I wish I had my own company to do stuff like this, I created all these characters, and Spooky was the first character I created, but I created all these other characters, and it would be cool to see those as dolls and figures. I thought about reaching out to say, hey, I got a whole series.
That would be
interested. You've got the company and you do it, and then just, we work out a residual or royalty thing for myself, and you just create these, you make a line of these characters. I think it'd be really cool based on what I created.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so it's something in the back of my project beside the comic book that I want to do called Christopher, which is about seeing ghosts and true stories and stuff. It's really cool.
Man, you got a lot of stuff that you want to work on.
There's a lot of stuff that I have written down in stacks. I got these stacks in my basement on this table of these projects. But the hard part I want to share with you with this chemo and recovery is I get so tired and so fatigued. Today is a clear day, meaning my head's been very clear. A couple of days ago, because of the pain, I could not focus on one thing. If I look at the dishes or whatever, it becomes overwhelming. Like, how am I going to tackle that?
Right.
Instead of just doing it, I'm having a hard time thinking on how to do it. And that's like I told my sister, I go, there's days I'm handicapped, Kelly. I can't do shit because I can't get going and my mind is not working. Even when I'm doing it, I get easily distracted. I can't complete something. So that's why I'm just like, I'm working on this music, get it done, jump on to the next thing, one at a time. I can't really juggle a lot.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. You just gotta do day by day. I'm trying to find a picture of Spooky.
Day by day. It's going to be another song, Day by Day.
Did you know that, Jenny, there was my buddy Johnny Rico, who I shared with previously, he was creating a lot of music for me. We're going back from like 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. Mm-hmm. And I've got a lot of the music that he created. I haven't used any of it in what I'm doing because mine's all original stuff. His was original too, though. But he kept creating some music that I was hoping to use in some of the paranormal shows I did. And when we were doing Help My House is Haunted, I had the trailer for the original opening trailer for the first season, and he and I cut music to it. So I told him what I wanted, special effects, everything, time codes, and then he went and made music for it. And I sent it to the production, to the director, and they didn't use it. They said, oh no, we got something. And what they used was nowhere near as good as this music. I need to find it. It's on one of my computers. I need to find it and post it on social media. And you get to see how cool it was, the music. Oh yeah, that's cool. That was with one of the AI programs. I forget which one, but it replicated my Spooky exactly. And that was so cool. That would be cool at the, if I had the money, if I had the sponsors and the money and go to the Burning Man and have that at Burning Man. Could you imagine?
Oh, heck yeah.
How cool would that be at Burning Man?
Right. I love Spooky. He's so cute.
Yep. It is cute.
He's super cute. And I have a t-shirt somewhere of Spooky that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of taking the design. There's a couple companies that they will use your artwork and they will sell t-shirts and you get residuals, you don't get much, but you get something. I thought about doing that with Spooky because I don't know if I want to keep doing the t-shirt things because it's just a long process that I think I'll take some of my artwork and have some of these companies, sell from their website, and anybody that buys it, they just send me a check whenever it racks up. It'd be a lot easier for me than going back and forth with the printer, getting it done, and then me personally have to selling it. I'm going to focus on this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're doing a workshop at the Paracon coming up. I think it's your 6 Sense workshop. What can people expect from that if they buy tickets?
You know what? Earlier today, I knew you'd be asking me this, and I was going to go look at what I proposed to him to do, and I forgot. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up. I'll tell you what it is as soon as you tell me what it was. Because I got 3 different ones that I do workshops, so I don't know which one it was.
Chris Fleming. Let's see.
Wow.
Unlock your sixth sense to discover purpose and true fulfillment.
Yeah, so it's what that is. It's a variation between my sixth sense and the major definite purpose. It's utilizing the principles from both of those into a very simple course that people can digest and put to use. So if you don't know what major definite purpose is, that comes from Napoleon Hill, but it also comes from Ancient Secrets. Jesus talks about the fig tree, talks about the mustard seed and stuff like that, and how you can manifest and you can create a plan for yourself. And as long as you put yourself in motion, not only will it happen, but it will bring other opportunities towards you that you're truly supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be in motion. And I mean, it's an amazing thing. I mean, here I am doing the music, and it was just last time I was in the hospital and the voice says, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Music." And here I am doing it. It's just like, it happens that quickly. I mean, I can tell you stuff where I landed on a plane, and I do this sometimes when I travel. And I haven't traveled in a long time. I would love to go on a vacation. I'm not able to yet. When I travel, sometimes I say, "Okay, God, I'd like this to happen on this trip."
Mm-hmm.
And I would say 75% of the time it happens. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you have to know how it works. And once you know how it works and you put your trust into that and you surrender to it, it happens. People are like, "I don't know how to get from A to B." You don't have to know how to get to A from B. You have to know how A works, which is you, and you have to know how B works, which is them. Right. And then what happens in between is you just recognize the signs they give you, and it takes you there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And I know Saturday you're doing a lecture on entities.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about you the whole time.
This is
growing.
You can talk about me all the time. I'm different types of entities here.
It's a gentity. A Jenny entity.
Entity. I'm an entity.
I've been wanting to
put myself in multiple different ways.
Oh, that's kind of scary. Just call you Sybil? Should we call you Sybil? Split personality?
What? Am I lagging?
No, what it is I've talked in various lectures over the last 20 years now about certain entities here and there briefly, and I said, you know what? Looking back on all the different types of ghosts, but also entities, we're talking about non-human stuff that I've experienced. It would be interesting to do a presentation with an illustration and what they're called, whether it's in this language or other cultures, these particular entities and how I came in contact with them, what I learned about them and what the theories are, as well as cultural differences. So I decided, okay, that's what I'm going to talk about, and I think that would be kind of cool. So you guys get to see some of the things that I've experienced and where I saw it and what I've learned about it, as well as what I don't know, because there's some mysteries to a couple of them.
Yeah.
So It's pretty cool.
I'm excited.
It's like the imps. We talk about the imps, and I love when a paranormal investigator says, "Oh, there's no such thing." He's the one that talks about the imps. I go, you are the most uneducated and unexperienced paranormal investigator. Not only one, have you not come in contact with them because you don't know what to look for, but two, you haven't even bothered to do research on these things. These things go back to the Sumerians. Did you know the Sumerians have an ancient tablet in the British Museum talking about them?
That's
thousands of years old, talking about them.
That's awesome.
And then you look at Egypt. In Egypt, the Egyptians talked about them too. You just know where to look, and they've got documentation, writings on them. So there are physical writings from the earliest cultures that talk about these things. And guess what? They talk about the same thing. They like to hide in the shadows. They cause oppression. They will attack your nightmares. They will scratch you. All the same things we're experiencing during some of our investigations or demonic hauntings. Yeah. And it's like, so wait a minute. You're going to tell me I'm wrong, even though I experienced them as a child and I have some eyewitnesses. And I've experienced them in this house, which I had an eyewitness. And I've done cases where we've got them on audio. We caught them on SLS. We caught them on camera. And you're going to tell me they don't exist. Okay, so you don't believe me. But are you going to tell me that you're right and these hundreds of other cultures are all wrong?
All this history.
Dude, you shouldn't be a paranormal investigator. Right? Because part of being a paranormal investigator is not, even if something you don't believe in and never experienced it, is to go investigate it. Research it, study it, listen and find the people that have experienced it, and what can you learn? But if you're saying there's no such thing as this and this, you're not an investigator.
Nope.
I mean, I'm not going to use profanity, but the fact of the matter is I'll use a polite term, you're an idiot. Because what you're no, seriously, it's okay not to have an experience with that, but if you can tell other people that they're wrong, you're discrediting all the people around the world throughout history that have had it, which means that you are so wrong because it's been around for thousands of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's been around for thousands of years, it just means that you're saying no to something that exists. It's simple as that. And you're telling people that you are inexperienced in this field. It's okay to say, I've never had this, like I've never seen Bigfoot, but I know people that have, and I know they've seen Bigfoot, but I can tell about the emotional response.
Right.
So that's the thing, right? Is that I believe Bigfoot exists. Do I know it exists? Well, I don't know it exists because I've never experienced it personally, but I believe it exists because other people have. Now, if I've seen Bigfoot and experienced it, then I know it exists because I've seen it.
Right.
But I believe it exists. I don't not believe it, but then some people say it doesn't believe.
Act like aliens,
Well,
aliens. I never went face to face with one. Maybe
I'll tell you, aliens exist. I don't believe they exist. They exist.
Yeah, because we were watching stuff up at Broadhead that one day together. Outside.
Oh, wait, you were there when the UFOs appeared, right?
Yeah. Yep.
How cool was that, right?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And I've been to Conover Square out in Illinois and experienced the imps because they were talking about it. They're like, yeah, because Fleming's been here, he's encountered imps. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then later in the night, they came out to play a little bit.
You got to be careful because when they say let's play, it's not always good.
No,
their sense of playing is causing harm or some type of oppression or attachment. So you got to be very careful of that.
Yeah. So we made sure we cleansed ourselves.
I mean, it's just I'm all about people got to be aware of this stuff and what they're dealing with when they go into places.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I firmly believe now, I mean, when we're doing Help My House is Haunted, you get 10 locations or 12 locations and be like, man, they've been at 8 or 10 of the locations we've been at. Are they following us or are they actually there? So sometimes it's not always ghosts that are haunting a location. It's sometimes them. But you can have, like we had one location, there was a ghost there, there was an imp there, and there was an elemental that was outside in the garden. So you had 3 different things that were there. We focused, primarily on the elemental, the pixie, because that was extraordinary. But we had the other types of supernatural experiences happen. We were at the one castle, I forgot the name of it, but the one woman's spirit says, I said, is there an imp here? She goes, yes, there's a monster here. And they call it either monsters, creature, little devil, or they'll call it an imp.
Oh, wow.
And she says, yes, get it out of here. Okay. We found out it was actually a red, not actually an imp. It's a variation of that, which is known in that culture in the Highlands called red something. I forget what it's called. But that was a different type of creature that came in contact with. And I was like, wow. I learned that there's variations of these goblins type creatures that exist. And
I gotta rewatch that show, the Scotland one.
Yeah. So it's just wild to me that all these other entities exist, and I find it fascinating. But then again, look at all the species of animals and organisms and every type of species we have, and even humans. There's all different types of humans, different sizes, different colors, different shapes. It's the same thing in entities in the paranormal realm, and there's probably even so much more that we don't even know about, we don't even see.
Right.
But some people get short little glimpses of them, and then some that have been around for every culture. They just called slightly different names because just like, we call things differently. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome.
Everyone needs to come out to the Paracon March 21st and 22nd to talk with Chris, hang out, listen to his lecture, buy tickets.
Well, you're going to be there selling stuff, right? You have your table? Okay, good.
Well, I'll be at the ticket booth most of the time, but I'll have my photography. And then I'll have my or a photo workshop.
Oh, that's cool.
Saturday or something.
Very cool. I have to get one. That's really cool.
Yeah. I'll do yours.
Love it. I haven't had one done in like over 10 years. That'd be cool.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Well, when you come, if you're gonna set up Friday, we'll make sure we can get that.
Yeah, I'll definitely set up the day before Friday. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only 40 minutes away.
Yeah, definitely. We
I'll
can do
hang out.
dinner or something. Afterwards.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll hang out. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Because it's been a while. I haven't seen you since Broadhead, so we gotta catch up.
I almost forgot you were there.
Yeah.
That's when I
met
first.
you at
I was
Broadhead.
really sick at Broadhead. I was.
Oh
Really
yeah,
sick.
you were. But we
I couldn't go up and down the stairs anymore. I was too weak.
Okay.
And that's I had did I just find out that week, or I found out
you found out after because
yeah, I
was
found out that
before,
following week I got the result, and I was like, oh, now I know why. What's wrong with me?
yeah. Hold on, let's see.
I'm so mad I scheduled our public investigation that night.
And
at
we'll still be
Broadhead.
there.
I want to go out to eat with them though.
They're gonna do
That
it
was a-
Friday.
That was a cool
Friday,
place.
right?
I like that
Yeah,
place.
right.
You guys are doing it Friday. You guys are going out to eat Friday.
We'll probably something Friday night since
Friday
it'll be
night.
kickoff. Yeah.
You just get a
Let's-
hotel.
Looks like I'm gonna have
So
to
is
That
it-
was
Get a
The Obscure
hotel,
Paracon's
hotel.
at the college, right? Northern Illinois.
yes. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can. Oh, hold on.
What are you showing me?
Hold on. I'll show you in a second.
we can.
I gotta
definitely
turn
get
my
those
thing
out
back
for-
off here.
for Friday night and just hang out.
Oh, that's funny. Where was it? Was that at Scarefest?
No, that was Broadhead that
Was-
one day.
Broadhead. Oh wow. Wow. Actually,
If you really want to go back, hold on. I have a picture.
Oh,
from-
she said it
Has
was
it-
really-
have any of you guys done Scarefest? Been into Scarefest?
I just
at all?
went
I have
last year.
never
the
done
very
it.
First time.
I haven't been there
Oh,
since like 2012, I think it was.
I was shocked. Like I had never been there except for this
How was
past
it?
October, and I was like shocked with how many people and how big it was.
Yeah, I know.
I
I,
was
I
like,
always had fun there.
Dang.
I want to see if I can go this year. I'm going to call them up because I'll have my album out,
I would
and I
love
don't know
to
if my
go
book will be
to
done, but
I've never-
I'd like to go there. I saw some of my artwork
I
and
have.
my album, and maybe if I could do a lecture there, because
Ooh,
my
that would
sister
be
lives in
fun.
My sister lives in Kentucky. She's an hour away, so I can go see her, and then I can go to the convention. So I want to reach out to them, see if I can appear
I
at
have.
Scarefest.
I have a photo of the very first time we met. I just gotta find it.
I gotta find my contact is. I can't remember.
This
her
will
contact.
make you kind of feel old, Chris. Hold on, I gotta find
Make
it.
me feel old. I already feel
Hold on, where is
old.
it?
Everything I've been
Where is
through.
it? There it is.
Oh, God. Where was that at? Oh, that's at Scarefest.
No, Michigan. Mid South.
Mid South in Kentucky?
Yep,
Oh my God. Wow.
that
Yeah,
was
Dustin's
2010.
such a great guy. Dustin's such a great guy.
That was 16 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, the good,
That
good
was
old
a
days.
long time ago.
16 years ago.
Mhm. I
You were
remember
in
because I
the-
went up to Chris. Like I was,
So
like,
you was a
that was, like,
teenager.
Me?
I was in, like,
No.
I
No,
was.
How old were you? Jenny?
Yeah. Probably
16?
18?
16?
16?
You were
16
16?
or
Child.
And I remember I brought my
He was a
spirit box.
child.
I brought my spirit box up to Chris and he goes, "Do you sleep with it under your pillow?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah. No, it's just because why don't you tell them what you said before that though? Because
I don't even remember. I think
No,
I
you
said
said
it wasn't
like
working for me.
it doesn't. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, you got to bond with it. You're like, how do I bond with it? I go, well, try sleeping with it. You know, like put it on your pillow or whatever. And the only reason I say that is because the very first one, the demo that Gary and I created, going back and forth, I was using the Hack Shack, right? And we wanted to create something similar to the Hack Shack, but had all the features. So Gary's the engineer and designer. I just told him what would look cool on it. So he sends me the demo to test, and I'm testing it. And I'm like, Gary, I'm not really getting anything. I'm getting still in my, he goes, that's because you're attached and you're focused on that. He goes, sleep with it, put it under your pillow. So I did. And next thing you know, I'm getting results. And it's because it's just a tool. You are the one that channels it through. You're the one that connects with it, that you're communicating, just like a Ouija board and everything. A Ouija board doesn't work. Well, you're not using it correctly. You don't know how to be open up and become the conduit, right?
Yeah.
And so once you do that, I was, you know, had my dad speak on it. We got great stuff, you know, and I swear by it. So it's like, yeah, you have to get attached to it. And there's various ways to do that. One of that is.
Yeah, you need to come to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash and do some tattoos.
I would love to. I haven't been to Gettysburg. I love Gettysburg. I had so many crazy experiences at Gettysburg that are just mind blowing. seeing the soldiers on the battlefield, seeing the soldier on the side of the road, hearing the flutes, hearing the noise, the drums, just crazy stuff. Gettysburg is so haunted. It's amazing. I love it. I'd love to go.
Like
Nobody,
vet the
let them know I'm doing appearances and I'm speaking. I'd love to go.
Yeah, I will. I'll send
a
the message to Pam, who is
I don't know who to contact and stuff. I've been so out of the loop.
Go now.
I so out of the loop. When is it?
It's July
27th through the 29th.
No, it's July 24th to the 27th.
Oh, that'd be great.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
If they'd like to have me there and we can talk and just figure it out, yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah,
I've been out of the loop, obviously, with everything. So that'd be cool. Oh, I'd love it. Gettysburg's such a great place.
I love that place.
Every time I go there, I have something happen.
It's amazing.
Every time.
Like I've heard drumming, and when no one's around,
yep.
I've heard
flutes,
chanting, boots. I've seen things in the woods around not Pikes Peak, Little Round Top and stuff. But yeah, like Gettysburg is crazy. Like I love that place. If I could move there, I would, but my husband refuses to move back to Pennsylvania.
I just saw a sparkling light in my hallway.
Anyway. That's funny because I just was commenting to Derek about something about dressing after the podcast was over.
Yeah.
Dressing like salad? I'm just kidding.
A dressing.
Yeah.
But thank you, Chris, for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
See you next month in DeKalb.
Yeah, so soon, right? No, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully
so
people
excited.
come to this. Yeah, it's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait to see you.
I can't wait to.
It's going to be fun.
See you. We
In
met
person.
before.
Where did we
one
meet,
time.
Derek? Where did we meet?
We
Derek?
met at Broadhead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it was very busy. I think it was during probably some kind of.
Was that in Spirits of the
Paracon.
Spring?
It probably was.
No. The only time I was there when I did my Paranormal Access Ghost Hunt there. That's the only time I've been at Broadhead. Once.
Did you
Really?
guys
I wasn't-
do Janesville?
I wasn't.
I'm being at
I could have
Spirits of the
swore I
Spring.
met you though.
That Janesville
Might have
Was it
been
that
Janesville.
Yeah, that one thing I showed up at Janesville could have been. That was fun. I was like last minute.
Right.
Talked to the guy the day before, and I was like, "Oh," and I just went. Oh, that was so
I
much
could have
fun.
swore I met you though somewhere.
Like
Maybe in
when
the
he announced
spirit
that you
realm.
were going to be there, I messaged him.
It
I'm like,
was in
"Can
my
I be
dreams.
close buddies near Chris Fleming?"
Chris,
And he's
you
like,
came to me in my dreams.
Yeah, no, thanks, Jen. No, I did a lot of spirit art at that event, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was great. Is he doing any more of those?
I think he does a couple of paranormal ones throughout the year, but they're not as like.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, I know
Just
some
get
people
I
have
thought
cut back from doing the paranormal events this year just because of the economy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'm
But
ever
yeah.
going to do the pop-up Paracon again, just because looking at the numbers for what I would need to do, I would need 20 grand just to be able to do it.
That's crazy.
I mean, because they charge, it was like 4,500, 4,200 to rent it out just for that one day. So for 2 days, I'm looking around $8,500. And then to bring in the speakers and the hotels, it's another
Right.
$1,300, you know, 10 grand, whatever I had. And then the marketing and everything else, I was at easily over 20 grand. I said, oh my God.
Right. That's
So, yeah. So, I mean, people need to realize if you're going to do a big Paracon and bring people in, you have to have the budget first.
right.
The problem is you don't rely on ticket sales to pay for it so that you pay people. No, you have to have a budget, because
You have
if
to
you
have a
don't
budget.
sell and people don't show, you still got to pay, you know,
Your
everybody that's there.
celebrities
You know, you're like, that's what happened at that Vegas thing. You know,
Yep.
the guy would tell me, I told him, I said, dude, where's your budget? Well, I got $10,000 up on my credit card. I go, yeah, but what is your budget? You know, how much do you have to pay everybody? Is it costing you? And he tells me, he goes, oh yeah, there's going to be 75,000 people there in Vegas for the rodeo show. And I'm like, what does that have to do with, well, you know, some of them are going to come to the paranormal show. I go, no, they're not.
What?
I'm like, are you
We all
kidding
found
me?
that out very quickly.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. And there was like no marketing, nothing. I
Nothing.
mean, I tell you what, it was cool to be there and see everybody. And it was such a cool giant room, and everything else could have been amazing. But
Right.
there was 100 people that showed up?
Not even. I
50?
don't even think. Maybe 50.
Man.
So
Well, I'll have to tell you a story after the show.
yeah, no, I know, but it was
story,
disappointing. It was like, oh my God, I'm like, and then all those people that didn't get paid, I got paid. I mean, I didn't get paid everything, but I got paid something.
And then all of the
people that didn't get paid
that got the VIP dinner never got refunded.
I had to pay for my home. I had to pay for my own.
People
hotel.
had to pay for
He didn't cover the hotel. I had to pay my own hotel.
And of course, it's at one of the most expensive hotels on the strip.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you going to pull this off, dude? You have no. For that, he should have had at least $100,000 in the bank, or 50 grand at least.
Yeah.
Because I mean, one particular speaker was just 10 grand to be there, just one.
Wow.
And there was
Holy
a lot.
Crap.
So he was easily at 50 grand just for all the speakers, the attendees.
Yeah.
And so. They all lawsuits, whatever. I mean, and it's a shame because I thought he was a nice guy. I had done another event for him and we used to talk.
Yeah, because you came to Minnesota.
But after that, I got mad at him because the way he treated people. And I said, I can't support you because what you did to everybody here. I just can't. It's not right, man. It's my colleagues, people in my genre, you can't do this. All these people that were out of money. Even the vendors, you guys that were there. I mean, you spent all the money to go there and you lost money.
Yeah, we lost about $4,000 at that event.
See, that's horrible, Jen.
Wow.
Horrible.
And then we lost additional $2,000 because we sponsored the next Minnesota one. And he never paid us back when he canceled that. Plus our VIP dinner tickets that I never got paid.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, yeah. So we got.
See, that's the thing is people need to understand. They say, "Oh, I'm just going to do a paranormal show and it's just going to make money." You're doing it wrong. You do a paranormal show because you want to bring the community together. That's why you do a paranormal show, okay?
Yep.
Because you rarely make money unless you've been doing it for a long time and you got all your ducks in a row, okay? Like the pop-up Paracon, I made just a little bit. I think it was like $2,000, okay? But I spent 5-6 months putting it all together, and it's a lot. I go, it's not worth it for $2,000. I can't do this, but I can keep building it, right? But then I got sick, and then of course the Woodstock Opera wasn't finished, so we had to cancel because it wasn't finished. Everybody got their money back. I made sure that everybody's getting their money back, because it's not happening. Everybody got their money back. So that's important, right? If you're not going to do it, you got to make sure everybody gets paid, everybody gets their money back, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have a budget, because you have to have a budget in case you don't sell enough. Everybody still needs to be paid.
Right.
And that's the thing. Otherwise, you ruin your reputation, but then you also injure other people that are there representing the event.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. That event was a fun time hanging out, but not.
Yeah, it's important. And that's why you have these big ones that have been doing it for a long time. They know the system and how it works, but then you have a lot of individuals that they want to do an event and they're getting too big to do it, but they don't have everything in place. And it's like, do you have a budget? Do you have money to make sure you pay everybody?
Yep.
Oh, well, we'll just sell tickets. Like there was the one person in Chicago, she kept doing events and she would not sell enough tickets, and then she would cancel some of the speakers 2 or 3 days before the event.
Right.
And then those people that would show up bought tickets for that particular individual to be there. And then sometimes she would put people on the events when she never even signed the contract with them. So their agent would say, no, you got to take them off. You can't be doing this. And she would leave them on until she got a cease and desist. And she would try to sell tickets on the fact of those people being there, even though they weren't going to be there. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
You can't do that. No
she
way.
did all the time.
Which
is why you don't see her anymore. She doesn't do any more events because everybody caught on.
Right.
So,
We'll have fun in March. We'll definitely have fun in
March. Yeah, of course.
They'll
And
be
look,
see you
Dale
again.
Kazmarek is going to be there. Dave's going to be there.
Yep.
A lot of people.
John
From Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah, who else?
I will be there.
Yeah.
Alicia and Derek will be there.
Yes. I need a picture with you and Dave. I got a picture with
sure
Dave and the other gentleman, Jeff. Yeah.
Ballinger.
Yeah. So now I need to recreate that one with you and
okay.
Dave,
that's fine. We'll do it. We'll do it. Just remind me, man. Just remind me.
That's awesome.
I'll be there.
Definitely.
All right, guys.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
Have a great night, Chris.
Thank you. You have a great night, Alicia.
It was good talking to you.
Great
Chris.
talking to you guys
Talk
too.
to you.
Yeah. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate
Have
it.
a good night.
I will. All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Derek and Alicia do have an announcement /
Get it off your chest type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So we no longer have access to Sanctum of Souls. It is no longer open to the public for private public investigations. Unfortunately, the owner has decided to part ways with us and go about doing the building a different route, which is understandable. He is the owner, and so he's the one paying for the bills and stuff out of his money. It's very heartbreaking. We love the building very much. We were happy to have been a part of it, and we are very grateful for everyone that has come to the building, that were able to come to the building. We are very sorry to everybody that had scheduled upcoming investigations and that are no longer able to be there to investigate the building. We did issue refunds to every single one of you. We thank you guys all very much in the community. And I wanted to address a comment from someone out in the community. We were called into the building. We never were trying to bring spirits in or disrespect the building and what it stands for. But we were simply called because the owner was having paranormal experiences in this building. We did not make things happen. They just happened. And yes, it was haunted. The spirits loved being acknowledged in that building, and that's what they were wanting, to be acknowledged. We were there to help preserve the building, and we made no money off of this. We are good people. We love supporting buildings, and we love preserving history. We did do our history. We did do our research from what we know. And so we do know there was a break-in and there was vandalism at one point. To this person, thank you for telling us that you are part of this building as well, and 40 plus of your family members. Yes, we know that there was communions held in there. There was weddings held in there. Baptisms held in there. That's what a church is for. And churches also do fundraising and stuff and good for the community. We never disrespected the spirits there. We never disrespected the building. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we were just there trying to help the building. The money that was being raised for the building, every time anyone come and investigated, that was going to be potentially towards like restorations. Like there was some mold in one of the rooms that we noticed. Carpet could have been pulled up and it could have been replaced in one room. The plastering on the ceiling in the chapel could have been fixed, but unfortunately our time is up, and that's the end of our story. We were very grateful to be the first ones to investigate the building and to be a part of history. And you know what? Also, as paranormal investigators, we go into buildings that are experiencing hauntings to get more information for more history. We even had a book that had history in it. So if that person would have liked to be a part of that, we would have loved to have you out. You know, if you say that you love the paranormal, you're interested in that, then we would have welcomed you in. So it was a little disrespectful, even though you said you weren't trying to be disrespectful. So, you know, you said that you were upset when the building closed as an operating church. Let us grieve too, as losing it, because we love the building just as much as you. So
yeah, the connection that we had with some of these folks that have moved on, on this physical earth, when you go in there and you communicate constantly with the same exact person every time you go to visit, you kind of build this story. You build a relationship with these spirits because you're in there. You know who you're talking to. You know how they are. You might not know them exactly to the T, but like you just build this kind of relationship with some of the spirits there. And we're gonna go there and say our goodbyes respectfully. We're gonna all go back and tell them goodbye, and that we'll never forget them. So there's gonna be a time where we're gonna go visit the church back, and we're definitely gonna part ways. But hey, it was a fun experience though. We got to meet a lot of great people. We brought in a lot of great people, and that's what it's all about. Even though it didn't last long, it doesn't matter because this is just the beginning of our journey. Eternal Paranormal has grown through the last 3 years, and
we're all about helping locations,
and we've proven to ourselves, like we don't help just one location, but we have heart to help a lot of different buildings and do what we can to keep things going.
The Masonic Lodge, we helped raise money to Jill said she was working on replacing the plumbing from the last investigation that we did. Something happened, so unfortunately that didn't go through, but hopefully Jill will reach out to us again and we'll host another public investigation
definitely, man.
To raise more money to help with the more restorations of the building, because I know that a window broke, and then we went out there and we helped board up the building and that window as well, and take down the glass and stuff. And Broadhead Manor, we're hosting a public investigation out there to help out Bill to raise money for the building as well in March. So
so it's not just this or that.
It's not selfless. It's not selfishness. We were never selfish about it. It wasn't about the paranormal for us, but that's what we were called in for, and it is what it is.
It was pretty fun. I mean, I gotta say, with the videos that we have of what we've caught there will always be with us, and it's awesome.
And also, the photos that we posted were not old photos. These were current photos of the building. There was only one photo as a historical photo of what the church looked like back in the day. So I did want to address that comment as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all love here. But I gotta get going, everybody, because I got a couple things I gotta wrap up outside of here. But
next Sunday we're off. Am I muted? No, I'm not.
No, you're good.
Next Sunday we're off because it's Super Bowl, and I will not compete with Super Bowl. But we will be back on the 15th with Josh Purvis. And then the 22nd, we have Amelia Cutter. And then March 1st at 5 p.m., we will have Tony, the Chicago ghost guy, on. And then March 8th is Brady Goebel of Chasing Paranormal. But we are booked out until the end of May right now.
Oh, one more thing. Also, I forgot to mention, so since the building's closed, there is going to be an episode on Stream Beacon TV with Michael Gagliano and Marilyn Bass, and that is going to be airing if you guys are still interested in seeing something from Sanctum of Souls. He said probably end of February, early March. So keep a lookout on that. I believe it's a permanent destination or something like that is what they were calling it.
Awesome. So we will see you guys back in 2 weeks on the 15th with Josh Purvis. And we have a crazy schedule of guests coming up. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. And if you are able to, come and see us at Obscura Paracon, March 21st and 22nd. That might be my last weekend of fun without having surgery, so we're gonna make it fun. That's all I can say. We're gonna have fun that weekend.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna live it
for
up.
sure.
I'm gonna live it up because
We're not putting
probably by the
anyone
end
on
of
the
March,
saddle again.
right? By the end of March, I might not. I'll be in the cast, so I will be drugged up a little bit at the end of March. So, but yes, we're gonna have fun at the Paracon. Get your tickets, buy your workshop tickets, buy your after hours investigation tickets. And if you're not wanting to do our investigations, you can go up to Broadhead and join Alicia and Derek and all those fun people. But the event on the 21st is 11 to 7, and I believe Sunday is 11 to 6 on the 22nd. So it'll be a fun time, family friendly. There'll be raffles, there'll be lectures, workshops, vendors of all different types of like paranormal equipment to psychic mediums to authors, so much. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. And yeah, before I forget, because I will forget now. I almost did. If you're interested in buying any of my photography right now, if you buy it before the end of February, I think it's the 18th, portions of all the fun prints sold will go to Tim. What is his last name?
Sumner.
Yes. He just had a stroke last weekend. So part of my photography sales will be donated to him. You can find all the info on Untimed Pages Facebook page, my personal Facebook, or Stories with Ed. And it could be any of my photography except for like the personal photos. Then no. But we will be back on the 15th. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.